Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I'm Ryan Stewman, founder of HardcoreCloser.com, and this podcast is all about helping you, the salesperson, close more sales. And look, whether you're selling cars, homes, financial services, consulting, whatever it is that you sell, this podcast is dedicated to help you generate higher quality leads, increase your closing ratios, and show you how to charge premium fees for the items you sell so you can get paid what you're worth. What's up, Closer Nation? Welcome to episode 111. I don't know if that's a lucky number or not. It feels kind of lucky. It's like you're 3 ones, but I don't know. This could be lucky. I'm telling you what, though, we're going to talk about winning in this episode, and winning is number one. And so since we're 111, that's like 3 ones. And so let's just say that's 3 winning singles. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I feel like since we're talking about winners, and we're on 111, I feel like that's like number 1 times 3. Like, you're so badass, you're not even one, you just 1, 1, 1. Like 1, 1, 1, just because everybody else is. There's an old Slipknot song. Here we go. We're just getting deep off in the beginning here. There's an old Slipknot song that says, if you're 5, 5, 5, I'm 6, 6, 6. Well, today we 1, 1, 1. All right. the Hardcore Closer Podcast. And look, I'm glad you're here. You're probably all sorts of confused. You're like, what the fuck kind of number dropping shit is going on here? Listen, that's just how we roll around here sometimes. If you're a first timer, just chill out. The shit's going to be good. I promise. Make sure you check out all the previous episodes. There's at least 110 other, depending on when you're watching this sometime in the future. And if you've been here before, then you know what I'm about to say. You got to leave me a review on iTunes, dog. That's man, we got like 30 to 50,000 downloads a month on this show, and we got like 1,000 reviews. Now, look, I'm thankful for the people that review me. I appreciate it. But y'all getting y'all's ass whipped by the Get Your Mind Right podcast because they already at 100 reviews, and they only been out like for 2 weeks over there. And if you haven't checked out the Get Your Mind Right podcast, the point of that is to let me inside of your brain first thing in the morning. Like, you roll out of bed, turn on the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Give me the first 5 to 10 minutes of your day and let me rewire your brain for success. You see, most of us, all of us, let's just be real, all of us, we're not wired for success. Let me talk to you for a second. We grow up and from like ages 3 to 7 is when our brain is shaped and formed, our comprehension skills start to exist. And people tell us things between those ages like, oh, you're special and you are awesome and you're an extraordinary individual and you're unique and all this shit. And then when you get to be 13 and 14 and that uniqueness, that specialness starts challenging the stupid ass old school ways your parents think and the stupid ass old school ways that your teachers think. And they start telling you, why can't you just be normal? Why don't you just fit in? And it's some straight up bullshit. And then all of a sudden the subconscious is confused as fuck because they're like, I thought I was special. I thought I was unique. And now I'm just told to be normal and be a sheep. And it's a complete bullshit, right? And so listen, what I'm doing is I'm rewiring your brain for success every single day of the week. So get over to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. You probably listen to this on the HardcoreCloser.com website, SoundCloud, YouTube, or iTunes. It's right in the ecosystem that you're already in. Just go over there and check it out. Subscribe to that as well. And by the way, back to this show, the Hardcore Closer podcast, leave me a damn review on iTunes, man. Like, that's how we going to reach people. Because look, I'm going to drop some shit on you today. It's going to change your mind. And we all know when you change your mind, you change your life. And don't you think that the people that are aimlessly searching for good content on the internet, there's no shortage of shit content. There's no shortage of like douchebags out there telling you shit they don't practice. They're telling you theory instead of fact. They're telling you from education instead of experience. Listen, I'm no bullshit. I've done this shit. I bootstrapped this shit from the beginning. I live this shit. I live it every day. And so, like, let's just save motherfuckers from listening to the bullshit. Because the worst message I get on social media every day is, I invested in this, or I've been listening to this, and I found out it was all wrong, or this person's fake, and everything else. Like, you don't find none of that here. I challenge you. You remember when the president of LifeLock said, I challenge you $1 million to try to, steal my identity. Look, I challenge you. I challenge you to find some bad shit about me out there, some fake shit about me. Go find something out there that I've been lying about. It don't exist. I challenge you. Please humble me and bring that shit to me because it don't fucking exist. This is real world, real shit, real experience right here I'm bringing to you every single week on this show. And listen, don't you think the people that are out there looking for this kind of stuff deserve it? And you leaving me a review helps them find it. Let me give you an example right here. And it's just like how relevant is this? It says real world real world training with out of this world results from Roll Tide CMC. I'm gonna take a wild guess and think that this person's from Alabama. I can't recommend Ryan Stewman's THC podcast enough. His straightforward approach to training gets results. I hope my competition doesn't listen. Chris Clear, Atlantic Merchant Services. We offer credit card processing solutions for any type of business. To see how we can help you, call 423-677-1229 or visit AtlanticMerchantClear.com. You see, I'll advertise your business on here. You want to put your business out on Front Street? Leave me a review. Matter of fact, when Robert is digging up the reviews that we read, he finds reviews that help people grow their business. That's what this whole damn podcast is all about. So pitch me your business and pitch the world your business in a review, and the chances are you're going to get found and we're going to read it on this show. And look, I just said we get 30 to 50,000 downloads every single show. And so think about how that's going to be huge for you. Think about getting your business in front of 30 to 50,000 people every time, every month. I mean, really month over month over month, because that's just counting the first month that we're out. That's not counting the like past and previous episodes and everything else. So wouldn't that be kind of beneficial to your business? Just asking for a friend, maybe. All right. So real quick, this advertisement this week, because we always got to have a little advertisement before we jump into the episode. This week, I want to challenge you to get back over to what I was just talking about a second ago, the Get Your Mind Right podcast. There's nothing for sale there. It's all about rewiring your brain for success. This is like Robert would tell you, some days I'll spit out 10 of these things. I believe in this project so much. I believe in this podcast so much. I believe in the message that I'm sharing so much that I feel like at some point I was born to be a preacher, but then I like abandoned all religion because I'm not sure which one was right. It's like South Park. They're like, the Mormons were right. Right? I'm not sure which one is right. So I just steer clear of it. And I'm giving you some worldly advice from out of this world, just like my man Roll Tide CMC right here said in the review. So go over to Get Your Mind Right and leave me a review on that podcast so people find it. Share it on social media. Like if you listen to one episode, you will be hooked. Like a catfish on some stink bait, right? I'm from the South too, Mr. Alabama. Like a catfish on some stink bait, you will be hooked. And the Get Your Mind Right podcast is a passion project of mine. And we already are getting a massive amount of downloads. Like it's way surpassed anything that we've done here at THC. And we've been at this thing for 111 episodes. But I've already recorded as of this morning. Let me look real quick. As of this morning, I think I did show number 54. I didn't think, now I know for sure. I did show number 54. So I'm like cranking these things out. And we only been at it for about a month or so. And I'm that passionate about it. So I want you to get over to Get Your Mind Right with Ryan Stewman podcast and let me get your mind right. Let me rewire your brain for success. The world has confused you. The world has convinced you that you don't deserve to win. I'm going to change your mind. All right, let's jump into the episode. Speaking of the world doesn't want you to win, I'm going to talk about the 5 daily habits of people obsessed with winning. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a little secret about me. I am obsessed with winning. I don't like to lose. I don't like fucking with losers. And I am obsessed with winning. And I refuse to surround myself with anything other than winners. And I mean, I have read every book about winners. I have read every book about the psychology of winning. Right now, I'm reading a book called Peak Performance, and it is by, I'm pulling it up on my Audible on my phone right now, Peak Performance by Brad Stulberg, and it's talking about people who are just all-time athletic Olympic champions, people that are high performers, people that are chess masters, people that are prolific thinkers, people that have done some amazing stuff. As we get onto this show here, right before I got on the show and started recording this stuff, I was talking to David Goggins. And he's a friend of mine. I said, David, hey, man, don't forget to take a day off, man. Go enjoy a day at the beach with your wife, man. You always putting your body through some stuff, man. He's like, I'm trying to grind myself to the bone, Ryan. It's just David, right? That's just how he is. I said, hey, man, don't forget to enjoy life. He said, I got a different way of enjoying life than most people. And, the thing is, dude, he's obsessed with winning. He's obsessed with being the world's most fit athlete. He's obsessed. He is absolutely obsessed with winning everything he puts his hands on. From the Navy SEALs, he was the all-time best Navy SEAL ever. He was the all-time best runner ever, the all-time best chin-up pull-up doer ever. Like that's David. He's obsessed. I study people like David. They're in my circle. I'm friends with people like Ed Milet. I'm friends with people like David Goggins. I'm friends with people like Frank Kern. I am obsessed with winners. And so I'm going to share 5 habits today. And you're going to want to get out a pen and pad and really write these things down. And I'm going to share how they've changed my life as well, because I'm a winner. I'm not scared to admit that. I'm a winner. Like less than 10 years ago, I walked out of federal prison with $25 to my name, and today I have a 8-figure net worth. You talk about winning. In less than 10 years, being a convicted felon, look, I ain't got no fake followers. I ain't got no fake motherfuckers in my life. I didn't go buy a bunch of bullshit followers on Instagram and Facebook or none of that shit. I went out and I grinded with advertising and content and learning and education and implementing and experience. And dude, I have beat the force of average. I beat its ass. I have beat the force of average's ass. And that's what I'm going to share with you today is some of the things that I've done to do that. And the things that I learned from all these people. I've paid almost $1 million over the years in mentorship. You think about that. Most people are scared to invest. I see people every day that are scared to invest $3,000 in coaching with me. I do a weekly coaching program where on Monday I coach you, on Wednesday I answer your questions, and we got a bunch of trainings and everything else in the background that go on, videos that you can log on to and all that other stuff. And I got people that I see every day that are scared to invest $3,000 into themselves. I had a dude just the other day hit me up, make $700,000 a year, was scared that he wouldn't get an ROI on $3,000. First of all, that's some pussy shit. I'm just saying. That's like definitely you. If you're listening, sir, you're a pussy. Second of all, I'm just saying like people that are winners believe and invest in this person that made 700 grand. Let me just tell you. He said, well, I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to make this forever. All the more reason to spend it on yourself while you're making it, you dumbass. Think about that for a minute. I was a broke motherfucker when I invested my first $8,000 in myself. Think about how many people spend their last dime to go see Tony Robbins. Think about how many people spend their last dime to come see me. There was a guy just yesterday, and we fucked up. We fuck up over here at Break Free Academy, just like anybody else does. And his bank wouldn't allow us to pull $3,000 in one swoop from his bank account. And Lindsay, my assistant, my number one assistant, was on vacation, not vacation, but she was like doing some shit with her kids in Missouri or somewhere in the middle of the woods where there was no reception. So I hit Sabrina up, my number two assistant, and I said, hey, charge this guy in 2 separate charges. And so she charged the first one, was going to wait a day, and then charged the second charge, $1,500 and $1,500 basically. And Lindsay just saw that he paid half. So when she got back into the real world, away from the backwoods of Missouri or wherever the hell she was, that she didn't get internet service, she charged the guy the other half. So we accidentally charged the guy 3 times instead of 2. He said, man, you took my bank account down to negative $40. I said, damn, bro, I'm sorry, man. Like if you have any, I'm going to give you this money back. Let me refund it real quick. It was just a mistake, number one. And number two, we're just both trying to work hard to make sure that, you got in the program. If you get any fees, let me know, and I'll reimburse you for the NSF fees and everything else. He said, nah, you know what, Stewman, fuck it. I'm going to go out today with the shit that I learned from you, and I'm going to go make at least 3 times my investment on day number 1. And that's exactly what he did. At the end of the day, he sent me a screenshot where he had made $10,000. He invested 3, the screenshot at the end of the day made like $9,800. Like that's somebody who is committed to winning. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers like dude that makes $700,000 in a year, and he's talking about, man, I'm just worried because I've made it, lost it before. You see, that's problem number 1 right there. You got a scarcity mentality. My little kids, they're 5 and 6 years old, and they know that if you don't keep money moving, it don't do nothing. Right? You can put money in your bank account. You're gonna be scared to invest in yourself. You can be scared to invest in stocks. I'm a large investor in Facebook. I got a lot of money invested in Facebook. Their stock went from 195 to 156 in the last 3 weeks alone. Am I pulling my money out? Am I being all scary and shit? Like, matter of fact, as I'm doing this podcast, Zuckerberg is in front of Congress trying to testify in front of, first of all, Congress is full of morons. They're asking this guy questions that like you and I wouldn't even ask them because we already know. It's like, does nobody in fucking Congress in our country have a Facebook account? Are they too stupid to even log into Facebook? I could go on forever about how fucking idiots that run our country are. They're on wild goose chases and everything else all the time, just like this with Zuckerberg. Trump this morning tweeted out that there is a witch hunt, and like the real witch hunt is Zuckerberg because you can't breach data that you make public. Let me say that again. You can't breach data that you make public. You made your Facebook profile is a public profile. How the fuck did they breach your data? You made the shit fucking public. That's what kind of idiots are we dealing with, though. But anyway, back to the story here. I'm obsessed with people that are winners. And people that have a scarcity mentality will never win. You have to have an abundant mentality. The dude said, nah, fuck it. I don't need your fees. I'm just going to go make more money. That's an abundance mentality. My kids know that money doesn't sit around. Money sitting around is like people sitting around. It doesn't make any more money. Yesterday, I sold a house for $420,000. The first thing I told the real estate agent is, how fast can you find me another one? He said, man, we just sold this one. I said, what the fuck you waiting on? We should already have 3 or 4 lined up. Man, that's a lot of work to do. You want to get paid or you want to sit around and get bypassed? You let me know. Today, he said, I wrote 3 more offers on other homes. Let's see who accepts it. But see, that's what most people do. They like to, and David's a good example. You know, I tell him, hey, man, you've been at this shit for like 30 fucking years. Maybe you should take a day off. No, I ain't taking a day off. Most people, they make one thing happen in their life and they want to live on that one victory for forever. You know, I made $700,000 last year. I'm just gonna relish in the fact that I made $700,000 in 1 year. When you want to make 1.4 this year? I made $4 million last year. I'm gonna hit 10 this year. And when I hit 10 this year, I'm gonna hit 25 next year. And when I hit 25 next year, I'm gonna hit 50 the year after that. Why would you put a fucking limit on what you can do? See, winners don't put limits on themselves. Winners set goals and make shit happen. So today I'm talking about the habits of people who win. Because we see plenty of habits of people who lose. They smoke cigarettes, they complain, they bitch and moan, they fucking victims in life. We see plenty of fucking examples of people who are losers. They're everywhere. They stand on the street corner with fucking cardboard signs. I'm like, give me some money. Today we're going to talk about people that are obsessed with winning and what makes them different from everybody else. And I'm going to nail these 5 things, and they're going to be simple. And here's what I know about smart people that listen to this show. You try to knock simplicity, but I'm telling you, simplicity is like my talent. I can take these big, complicated psychological things and turn them into something that's real simple and easy to understand. And that's like my talent, is being able to take these big, complicated process and turn them into something that's very simple and easy to understand. And so do not knock the simplicity of the shit that I'm going to share you today, because you're talking to someone who does it. You're listening to someone who does it, who's surrounded by people who do it. My friends I got several friends with 9-figure net worths, which means like they sitting on that money. I have countless friends with 7- and 8-figure net worths. That ain't shit these days. Like I have a shirt that I wear to work occasionally that says, I'm trying to turn M's into B's in this bitch. Andy Frisella just said on his podcast the other day, I'm not worried about millions, I'm worried about billions. See, that's the winning mindset. There's no limitations on that person. And we talked about that on the last podcast. We were talking about Master P and No Limit, right? If you missed that one, make sure you go back and check it out. But number 1, 5 daily habits of people obsessed with winning. Number 1 is they start their day off on a positive note. Now, the world, as soon as you wake up, the world is trying to attack you, especially if you're a winner. It's trying to tell you don't go to the gym. It's trying to tell you to get in an argument with somebody on Facebook. It's trying to tell you to tweet back some bullshit to Trump. It's trying to tell you all sorts of fucking shit to kind of get you to be negative from the get-go, because if you're negative, you're in a bad state and you're not going to win. Negative people never win. Write that down. Negative people never win. If you're negative about shit, then you will never win anything in your entire life. Sore losers, all that shit is because they're negative. So I start my day off, and so do my friends. My friend Frank Kern, he don't even touch the internet. All he does is read, and all he does is listen to something that's positive until 10 a.m. California time every day. He don't even touch the internet because he wants to stay away from the negativity. He starts his day off on a positive note. You can ask my wife, as soon as I open my eyes in the morning, I roll over, I put my AirPods in, I turn my iPhone on to something that's positive, whether it be a podcast. This morning I watched The Passionate Few with Ed Milet, and I listen to something. I listen to something that wires my brain for success. Now listen, if I was you, I would recommend listening to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. However, it would be it would be like masturbating to a picture of myself if I listened to myself in the morning. You know what I mean? That's just like, it's a little outside it's just a little weird. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that listening to myself first thing in the morning is really going to help me too much, because I already said that shit, so I'm in it. However, if you listen to me, it's not like jerking off to a picture of yourself. It's like jerking off to Pornhub. So it's totally acceptable in this world. Just want to say it's the reason why Pornhub is the #1 website on the internet. It is not Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. But you start your day off on a positive note, right? So you listen to something positive. You start wiring your brain for success early in the morning. I like the Get Your Mind Right podcast. I like Ed Milet. I like Grant Cardone. I like Andy Frisella. I like Tom Bilyeu. Like, those are the things that I like. Eric Thomas. Those are the things that you need to listen to first thing in the morning. 5, 10, 15 minutes worth of motivation to get you up and running. Okay? That's the first thing. Every winner I know starts their day off with it. Like, the winners that I know, they don't start reading the newspaper. They don't go to MSNBC.com or MSN.com or FoxNews.com or social media to get their news and none of that shit. They start their day off with some positive stuff. The next thing is daily affirmations. My affirmations are a little bit different than everybody else. Okay, I'm going to read them to you. Instead of reading daily affirmations, which I did for years, I read my core values every single morning. Literally, I'm just going to overshare with y'all. Can I overshare with y'all? I wake up, I listen to something positive for a few minutes, got to take my morning dump. And while I'm sitting there taking my morning dump, I read my core values to myself out loud. My wife, for months, thought that I was nuts. And she's like, "Wait, are you in there shitting and reading something out loud to yourself?" "Yeah, baby, just don't worry about me. I'm all right. We ain't got a door on the bathroom." It's like this whole open relationship thing that we got going. And so, long story short, she knows every morning when I start saying these things, she's like, "All right, well, I guess that's my daily alarm clock for Ryan to get up." But here's my core values that I read to myself every single morning, okay? First thing is I focus on my supporters and not the reporters. You see, the supporters in your life are the people that cheer you on, the people that want you to win, the people that want to help you. Like me, I'm a supporter of you. The reporters are the people that talk shit about you, that tell stories about you, that spread lies about you. They report bullshit. We look at the reporters of the world. Nobody reports anything positive. Nobody. Even positive sites like Upworthy and some of those sites like that, they used to be positive. Now they're all full of shit about Trump and hating them and all that other stuff. Like, reporters, all they do is just hate on motherfuckers. Stay away from the reporters, but the force of avarice tricks you into trying to change the mind of reporters and abandon your supporters. Don't do that. Let me flip the switch on you. Focus on your supporters. Fuck the reporters, okay? Number 2, I face my fears and forget anger, because anger is a symptom of fear, right? Anger is not an emotion. Fear is an emotion, and anger is something that subsides and something that comes from fear. So I face my fears and I forget about anger. Next, I love myself first. Because listen, when you're dying and you're in a situation, the airplane's crashing, the masks come down from the ceiling, the first thing they tell you is they put your own mask on first. You have to take care of yourself before you can help somebody else. Because if not, you pass out, the person next to you, they're fucked. Right? The helpless person next to you, if it's your kid or whatever, if you pass out and you can't put their mask on them, you're fucked. You have to put your own mask on first. So I have to love myself first. But there again, that's something that the world tells you, that you should love others first and you should put other people first. And that's complete bullshit, because if you don't put yourself first, you won't love yourself. How the fuck you going to love somebody else if you don't love yourself? The next thing is I think abundantly. Now think about that for a second. I mentioned that earlier. Dude invested the last dollar he had because he had an abundant mentality. Other dudes made $700,000 and he's scared to invest $3,000 because he's worried he won't get his money back. First of all, what kind of cocaine habit do you have that you blew $700,000? That's the question I'd be asking that motherfucker. I asked him too. He was not happy about that. That's probably why I blew the sale, but I'm just saying. But I think abundantly. Frank Kern shows up and he says, "Hey man, give me 30 grand to come out and hang out at the house." I'm like, "Cool, you can have it, man, because I'll just get more of it." My jeweler hits me up the other day. He's like, "Dude, that's going to be $20,000 for this watch that you want." "Cool, man, I'll come get another one." "You got two?" Because I think abundantly. And here's the next thing. Because I show up in all 4 areas of my life: faith, family, finance, and fitness. I show up in all areas. I don't just show up in my finances. I've done that. I fucked 3 marriages up because of that. I don't just show up for my fitness. I've done that. I fucked 3 marriages up because of that. I show up in faith in myself and my family as well. Next thing is, family of choice is greater than family of origin. Now, your family of choice are your kids, your wife, your friends, your employees. Those are your family of choice. You should treat them like family, because they are. I'm around these people I work with more than anybody else. My friends, I surround myself with them more than anybody else. My family of origin, man, I don't even talk to them. They told me if I started publishing these books, if I started doing these podcasts, if I started talking to y'all, getting real and not hiding this fakery bullshit, that they would abandon me. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to choose my family of choice over my family of origin. My family of origin would be like my mother, my grandparents, all this other stuff, man. They try to keep me from sharing these stories with y'all. Imagine the millions of lives, 93 million people I've impacted at this point. Because what if I would have listened to my family of choice, and I wouldn't be on this podcast right now, and it wouldn't be 30 to 50,000 people a month listening to me. Man, it would be hard to sleep at night. Next is I honor everyone who's honorable. If you're not honorable, fuck you. But if you are honorable, I will honor you. There's a lot of people out there that you think are honorable that I know aren't. And there's a lot of people out there that you think aren't honorable that I know are. I see fake people every day, and it's easy when you've done the work to spot fake people. I was talking to some 9-figure earners the other day, like people that have made 9 figures in their lifetime. And they were talking about some of these famous internet marketers. And they were talking about the fake ones. And I said, man, I knew those people were fake. And they said, yeah, so do we, because you know why? We've done the work. And we know what it sounds like when you've done the work versus when you haven't. And so I only honor people that are honorable. Everybody else, fuck them. And look, you don't have to be rich to be honorable. You know what you have to do to be honorable? You have to live with integrity. It's like if you make $5,000 a month, and you try to tell people how to make $50,000 a month, that's not integrity, because you don't know how to do that because you've never done it. If you're trying to teach people how to have a good relationship with their wife and you have a shitty relationship with yours, that's not integrity. I never claimed to be the world's best husband. I never claimed to be the world's best salesman. I just show up as Ryan motherfucking Stewman, the person that I'm supposed to be every day, an honorable person. Next is live and let leave. Some people in your life for a reason, some are for a season, and some are for a lifetime. And, I have abandonment issues. My dad left me. I'm adopted. I've had 3 wives leave me. But I've learned to just live and let leave. That's one of my core values. You can always find more people to join your family. You can always find someone else to love. You can always find more money. So if money leaves you, if love leaves you, if a job leaves you, if life leaves you, the only thing you can't find more of is time. Next up is I deserve what I have. Whether I have nothing or whether I have everything, I deserve it. And in my life, I want private jets, exotic cars, mansions, beach houses, unlimited time. I deserve what I have right now. And in the past, when I had the things that I have right now, I didn't feel like I deserved them, and I let them go. But guess what? On the flip side of that, if you ain't got shit right now, that's what you deserve too, because your present is a direct reflection of the choices that you've made in the past. Next up is I can't lose because I'm focused on winning. I don't focus on loser shit. I don't focus on gossiping. I don't focus on none of that shit. I focus 100% on winning. Next is be the man that I would look up to. So if I want to honor people who are honorable, I think, okay, well, what kind of people are honorable? That's who I need to be. Next after that is no distractions. There's a door hanger on my door here in my office, and it says recording in progress. Do not enter. And whether I'm recording or not, the people outside this door know that they better not ambush me when that thing's on there, because I'm focused. Next is I pay attention to detail. People tell themselves all the time, oh, I'm a salesman, I don't have to pay attention to detail. I'm a CEO, I don't have to pay attention to detail. I hire attorneys to pay attention to detail. No, I pay attention to details. Because here's what I know, the devil's in the details. And I'll be looking for that motherfucker, because Satan be pulling some dirty-ass tricks, that bastard. Next up is confidence is greater than cockiness. So there's a fine line between people seeing you as arrogant and cocky versus confident, and I'm focused on being confident. Next is treat yourself. For years, I didn't buy a Rolex for myself. For years, I didn't buy a nice wardrobe for myself. For years, I didn't buy a nice house for myself. I was making $500,000 a year, and I was living in a $117,000 home because I didn't treat myself. I didn't think I deserved that shit. Now, man, I have a good month. I go out and I treat myself right. When me and my wife do date night, I treat ourselves right. I treat myself because I deserve this shit. I deserve everything I got. Next up for me is a big one. Don't be an asshole first. I can be an asshole, but I just don't want to be an asshole first. And this one's even bigger for me. The next one is have patience for the less informed. One of the reasons that I can be an asshole is because someone doesn't have the information I do, and they say some stupid shit like, well, why would I want to spend $3,000? I made $700,000 last year. He's just less informed. That's all. I can have a little patience for him. I should probably go back and try to close that guy again. But at the same time, man, you can't we got 125,000 leads in our system. Some will, some won't. So what, right? Next up, this is a big one for me. If it's not done with integrity, I don't do it. I don't take kickbacks. I don't cut corners. If I can't do it with 100% integrity, I just don't do it. Next up is you can count on me. If I give you my word, shit, even Energy Robert here will tell you that if I give you my word, that shit will happen. And I'll go against myself to make sure that I'm in compliance with my word, which is something that most people won't even do in the first place. And the last one is I hold people accountable for their actions and words, because if you can count on me, I'm going to expect to count on you. Those are my daily affirmations, my core values that I read every single morning, right? You should copy mine, just come up with your own, whatever, but you need affirmations that you're reading every single day. Number 3 things that is a habit of people obsessed with winning is they maximize their time. You see, my entire day, I don't have a boss. I don't have somebody managing me. I don't have somebody tell me what to do. My entire day is structured on my calendar. I keep it on my phone. And I'm maximizing my time. Like today, I'm talking to a client that paid me $25,000. When his time was up, I said, hey, man, we got to continue this next time. I got to get on to the next thing. He's like, hey, man, I appreciate your time. Have a great day. Because I'm maximizing the time. I only got 24. I got the same 24 hours in my life that Bill Gates has in his. The only thing that separates him from me is he makes more money because he's been able to leverage people and leverage technology to maximize his time. I'm on the path, though. Don't get me wrong. I am on the path. You got to learn to maximize your time, because here's what I know. You can always get more love. You can always get another job. You can always go get another friend. You can always go move to another house. You can always go do everything except for time. And if you don't make the most of your time every day, every minute, every hour, and your time on this planet for a lifetime, it's the one thing you'll never get back. So many old people regret not spending time with their family. So many old people regret not spending time in the gym because now they're fucked up and they got to spend all their money trying to stay alive or walk around on crutches or a walker and shit. So many old people wish they'd have made better use of their time and had experiences. Winners maximize their time. I maximize my time. When I leave here today, I'll have shot 4 videos, a podcast, made $20,000, went to a coaching session for my kid, like, because I got him in this program called Brain Balance to help him out. You're not supposed to be left brain or right brain. You're supposed to be brain balanced. And I helped my middle kid out. I done spent time at the school to get that shit right with him. I done spent time with my wife, and then I'll go home and I'll have a fulfilling night with my family because I know how to maximize my time. I'm not just aimlessly fucking staring at Facebook wondering what the fuck I'm going to do with my life for the day. Everything in my life is down to the details because I got to maximize my time because I only got 24 hours every day. I got to make the most of them. Number 4 thing that people obsessed with winners do is they stay focused until they're finished. You see, losers are distracted. Winners are focused. They're not in the middle of writing an article or writing a sales page or writing a blog post or writing a sales post on Facebook or whatever, and then they pick up their phone and start scrolling the news feed. They don't do that. Winners stay focused until the job's done. I watched a documentary the other day with Conor McGregor, and he's in the second round of this fight. And if he loses the second round of this fight, then for sure it's going to be swayed the other dude's way. And within 8 seconds of the second round being over, he knocked this motherfucker out. Was an old fight. I forget the guy. Mendez, I think is the guy's name. You know what? He didn't just like zone out. He didn't just try to say, well, fuck it, I'm just going to wing it and take an ass beating until the end of the round. He stayed focused until he was finished, and he finished that motherfucker. So many people, they say, you know what? I got a lot done today. I'm going to call it a day a little bit early. Nah, man, that's some loser shit. Winners stay focused until they finish. And if they finish early, they get ahead for the next day. Because you know what we won't get? More time. And number 5, this one's been huge for me. And I'm going to drop this back to number 1 as soon as I'm done with it. They chart their daily wins. Winners journal, right? If you're a high-speed peak performance runner, you're keeping a journal of your time and how many miles you ran. If you're a high-speed peak performance weightlifter, you're keeping a journal of how many reps you did and how much weight. If you're a CrossFitter, you're always looking for a personal best. If you are a salesperson, you're journaling your numbers, how many calls you made, how many closings you made, how much money you made. Like, you're charting your daily wins. Here's what I do. Every morning I wake up with a positive note. I read my core values. And every night before I go to sleep, I write down my daily wins. Let me give you an example. This is how I get down. Every day for months now, at the end of the day at 7 o'clock, I write down what I've won for the day. Yesterday, I sold my Prestonwood property for $420,000. I got a new sales team started up in my business. I had an in-depth conversation with Robert Nelson. I had a heart-to-heart with my friend Pat. I got my Maserati back. That's daily wins for me. The day before that, I had to tell Jax his dog died, and I manned up to make that happen. Had sex with my wife. That's a fucking win for me. Y'all see my wife? She fine the motherfucker. That's a win. Sold lots of Entourage memberships. Spent time with my son at the park on a four-wheeler and a golf cart, because we rednecks like that. Drove both McLarens with my son. I knew I was going to have to tell him his dog died, so I had to make sure that he had I set work aside for the day, and I made sure that we had a great day together so that it was like memorable and exciting, so that when I had to give him some bad news, it wasn't that bad. I hung out with Asher, my middle kid. Did not drink alcohol, right? That's a daily win for me. Day before that, raised $100,000 for one of my businesses, sold $33,000 worth of products in less than 4 hours, had dinner with the kids and my best friend, had a great day spent with all three of my boys, watched Jumanji with my boys, and I bonded with my youngest son. See, I'm not on here talking about how much money I made every day. I'm not on here talking about how badass I am every day. I'm on here talking about like little daily wins every single day. Spending time with my kids, having sex with my wife, making a few dollars, having an impact on somebody, having a heart-to-heart conversation with somebody who matters in my life. Every day. And anytime, let me tell you something called the piggy bank. Anytime I'm having a bad day, I can go back into this daily wins journal here. And that's like my piggy bank. Like piggy bank, you put money away for a rainy day. You have a bad day, you pull money out of the piggy bank and you go spend it on what you need to spend it on. This daily wins is my mental piggy bank. I'm having a bad day. Shit ain't working right for me. What do? I go back to daily wins and I remind myself that I win every fucking day. Every day. You heard me? Every fucking day I win. I don't write down my losses because I don't give a fuck about the losses. Every day wins. And you know what? 100 years from now, when my ass is dead and cold and lowered into the ground, my kids, their kids, and their kids' kids are all going to go back and read the daily wins. They'd be like, my dad, my grandpa, my great-grandpa, my great-great-grandpa won every motherfucking day of his life. He was obsessed with winning. We come from a fucking long line of winners. You see, that's the difference between me and most people. That's the difference between my friends that have 7, 8, 9-figure net worth and most people. Is we're obsessed with winning. So obsessed that we chart our wins every single day. So let me ask you, of these 5 things, how many are you doing every day? And then you have to ask yourself why you're not winning as much as you should or as much as you want to. Because I just gave you 5 simple habits that people obsessed with winning do every single day. You start following this process, you become a winner too. Whether you're the world's biggest loser right now and you just found this because you just got out of prison and someone forwarded it to you, or whether you're making $1 million a year and you're miserable as fuck, or whether you're making $10 million a year and you're miserable as fuck. Just because you're making money don't make you a winner. It means you've won in one area. What about the other 3? What about family, fitness, and faith? So the 5 daily habits of people obsessed with winning. Number 1 is they start their day off with a positive note. Get your mind right. Podcast will work for you. Number 2 is daily affirmations, those core values that I read to you. Number 3 is they maximize their time. We only got 24 hours in a day. You better make the most of that shit. The only easy day was yesterday, baby. Number 4, they stay focused until they're finished. Fuck being a quitter. Number 5 is we chart our daily wins. Every single day at the end of the day, we chart and journal our daily wins. So if you want to be a winner, that's what you got to do. Now, quickly go over to elevatortothetop.com. You can get my audiobook on sales. It's $9.99, I believe. It's an audiobook. You can listen to it. Program yourself to be a winner. Make sure you go over and you get the Mind Right podcast over on iTunes, hardcorecloser.com, all that good stuff. And the show notes and everything are over at hardcorecloser.com for this as well. And make sure, damn it, that you leave me a review on iTunes because that shit helps other losers find it that can turn themselves into winners because I'm helping them with kick-ass content like this. And catch you on the next episode next week, Close Nation.